Hi, my name is Tim Schobel, and I'm a consultant with Business Solution Partners. And today we're going to be covering updating an existing record by a CSV import. We have a previous video on YouTube in which we cover importing new records via CSV import. This video will be covering updating an existing record via CSV import. So let's say I just imported some customers. I'm going to go to Lists, Relationships, Customers to review that data and validate the import was successful. And let's say I see a few mistakes. This list is already sorted, by the way, by internal ID. So this is presenting the most recently imported customers first, because the internal ID is sorted in descending order. So here I can see that there's some information missing, for example, category, sales rep. So I can export this list using any of these three options here on the upper left of the screen. Here I can export the list via CSV, Excel, or PDF format. I'm going to want to use CSV because that's the format I'll be using to ultimately update these records. So I'm going to export this list. And I can drag this over now. And I can see that I have the ability to populate some of this information now. All of these same columns shown here are presented on the export file. So I just know for a fact that this is manufacturing, this is retail. The sales rep for all of these is going to be Will Clark. And I also want to update these emails. Okay, so now that's done. And I think all the other information is sufficient. So now I'm going to modify this template to get rid of any of the records that I'm not going to import. And I can also get rid of any columns that I did not update. So I will just only need the internal ID for this. Email was the last field that I updated. So this is it. I only updated category, sales rep, and email. I'll be referencing these customers by their internal IDs, also shown here. And I'm just going to be updating their category, sales rep, and email addresses. So I am going to save this file. It's already in CSV format. Then I'm going to navigate to Setup, Import, Export, Import CSV records. Here I'm going to select my record type as customers. I'm going to select that file. Here I'm going to select the Update option. And if I expand Advanced Options, I can make sure that I'm using the correct form. I'm going to click Next. And here I can see all my fields automatically mapped. So I'm referencing the internal ID and updating the sales rep, email, and category. I'm going to click Next. I can give this a unique name, or I can choose to just run it. can do the import job status here. You can see that these are importing. I can refresh this. You can see 3 records imported successfully. That doesn't mean that they necessarily created new records though, so it just means that they were updated. So I can go to lists, relationships, customers again to view those. And we can see that those fields did populate as I intended. The sales rep is all listed correctly, and the email addresses have also been added. All right, and that really pretty much covers the process for updating new records in NetSuite. Really, it's just a matter of referencing the internal ID and creating an import with the columns that you wish to update. And that's it. Have a good one.